Hello, and a huge warm welcome back to the Chatterbox English channel, where every conversation makes your English journey brighter and easier. I'm your host, Elena, and I am absolutely thrilled to be here today.
And I'm Pavel, feeling equally thrilled, Elena. A very special hello to all our wonderful listeners tuning in from across the globe. It feels like a reunion with friends.
It really does, Pavel. There's a special energy today, so let's dive right in. I've been curious all week. You mentioned something about a recent trip. You went to see your cousin, right? Tell me, was it a spur-of-the-moment adventure or a long-awaited plan?
Oh, it was definitely planned, Elena. We'd been talking about it for months. My cousin Alex lives in a charming coastal city about 300 kilometers from here. Finally, the stars aligned. But you know what was almost as fun as the trip itself? The planning and deciding how to get there. It felt like solving a puzzle.
I love that. The journey is part of the adventure. So what pieces did your travel puzzle have? What were your options on the table?
Well, the classic trio. Train, bus, or my own car. I even briefly considered carpooling with a friend, but that didn't work out. Each option had its own pros and cons, you know?
Absolutely. Let's break them down like true travel analysts. The car, the king of flexibility.
Right. Driving my own car means total freedom. I can leave when I want, stop for coffee at any cute little roadside cafe, and I have my own space. No sharing an armrest. But then there's the cost of petrol, the wear and tear on the car, and of course, the dreaded nemesis.
Traffic jams.
Exactly. Sitting in a line of cars, barely moving, watching your arrival time get later and later, it can be so frustrating. And finding parking in a city can be another expensive challenge.
A real headache. So the car was a maybe. What about the bus? The economical champion.
The bus is often the cheapest option. You buy a ticket, get on, and someone else does the driving. You can read, sleep, watch a movie. But for a 300-kilometer trip, it can be quite slow with all the stops. And let's be honest, the legroom isn't always generous. If you're tall like me, it can be a bit cramped.
Cramped is the perfect word. And sometimes the Wi-Fi is unreliable, which is a problem if you want to work or stream something. So the bus was economical, but perhaps not the most comfortable. That leaves us with the train. Your final choice.
It was. The train felt like the perfect balance. It's usually faster than the bus, more relaxing than driving, and you get this wonderful, ever-changing view. It's my preferred mode of transport for medium-distance trips.
I'm a train enthusiast too. There's something romantic and civilized about it. So walk me through your train travel day, step by step, from the beginning.
Okay, first I booked my ticket online a few days in advance. It's usually cheaper that way. I chose a specific seat, a window seat in a quiet carriage. I'm not a fan of the seats facing each other with a table. I prefer the forward-facing ones.
Smart. Forward-facing helps if you get motion sickness. Did you print the ticket or use an e-ticket on your phone?
E-ticket all the way. So convenient. Just a QR code on my phone. On the day, I packed a small backpack, my carry-on luggage, with a book, headphones, a water bottle, and some snacks.
Essential travel kit. What about a bigger suitcase?
For a weekend, I travel light, just this backpack. But if you have a big suitcase, you would put it in the luggage racks at the end of the carriage. So I arrived at the central station about 30 minutes early.
Always a good idea. Stations can be confusing.
They can. I first checked the big electronic departure board. It lists all the trains, their destinations, departure times, and most importantly, the platform number.
Platform. That's the key word. You see your train, let's say Intercity 245 to Seabreeze City, and it says Platform 8.
Exactly. I found mine, Platform 5. I walked there and the train was already waiting. I found my carriage number, it was printed on my ticket next to the seat number, and boarded. The train was clean and modern. I found my seat, stowed my bag above me, and settled in.
Perfect. And then the conductor came by?
Yes, a few minutes after departure. He said, "Good morning, tickets please." I showed him the QR code on my phone screen. He scanned it with his device, nodded, and said, "Thank you. Enjoy your trip." Very smooth.
Wonderful. And then you could just relax. Did you get any work done or just enjoy the scenery?
A bit of both. I answered a few emails using the train's Wi-Fi. Then I just watched the world go by. Fields, small towns, forests. It was very peaceful. They even had a trolley service come through the carriages selling coffee and sandwiches.
Oh, the snack trolley, a classic. So you arrived refreshed and on time. Now let's shift gears dramatically. What if your cousin lived not 300 kilometers away, but 3,000 across an ocean?
Well, that changes everything. Then we enter the realm of long-haul flights. That's a whole different ballgame with its own vocabulary and rituals.
It is. Let's walk through that. You decide to fly. First step, choosing a flight. You look at airlines, prices, and times. You might want a direct flight or a connecting flight with a layover.
A layover. That's when you have to get off one plane and wait at an airport to catch another one. I try to avoid very short layovers. It's too stressful if the first flight is delayed.
Wise. So you book your flight, you get an e-ticket, again, but for flying, you also get a special code called a PNR, or booking reference. Then, 24 hours before the flight, you can usually check in online and get your boarding pass.
That's right. Online check-in lets you choose your seat. Aisle, window, or the dreaded middle seat. And you can sometimes pay extra for more legroom or to sit at the front.
Then D-Day arrives. You go to the airport, which is a world of its own. The first big area is departures. You find the check-in desk for your airline.
Even if you checked in online, you often need to go to the bag drop desk if you have luggage to check in. That's your big suitcase that goes in the hold of the plane. You put it on the scale, they tag it, and it disappears on a conveyor belt. You hope to see it again at your destination.
And they give you a luggage tag receipt. Don't lose that. Then, with your boarding pass and carry-on, you head to the security checkpoint. This is where you have to remember the rules.
Liquids in small bottles, all in one clear plastic bag. Laptops out of your bag. Coats and belts off. You put everything in trays, they go through the X-ray machine, and you walk through a metal detector or a body scanner.
Once you're through security, you're in the departures lounge. This is often a shopping and eating area, but you need to keep an eye on the flight information screens for your gate number. Gate is like the platform for a plane.
When they announce your flight is boarding, you go to the gate. They scan your boarding pass, and you walk down the jet bridge to enter the plane. You find your seat, stow your carry-on in the overhead compartment or under the seat in front of you, and buckle up.
And then the safety demonstration. It's important to pay attention, even if you've seen it before. Then the excitement of takeoff. The plane speeds down the runway and lifts into the air.
During the flight attendants are there to help. You can ask them for water, a blanket, or headphones. On long flights, they serve meals and drinks, and there's an in-flight entertainment system with movies and music.
After what feels like forever, the captain announces the descent. You prepare for landing. Once you land and the plane parks at the gate, everyone stands up, even though it takes forever to get off.
Ah, the classic stand up and wait ritual. Then you follow signs to baggage claim or arrivals. You find the carousel with your flight number, and you wait for your suitcase to appear on the conveyor belt.
And when you see it, it's a mini victory. You grab it, and you're officially in a new place. Now, let's zoom back into a city. You've landed, you're at your hotel. How do you get around the city itself?
This is where local transport shines. In most cities, you have a network. The underground subway or metro is usually the fastest way to avoid traffic above ground.
You often need to buy a ticket or a rechargeable travel card from a machine. You tap it to enter the station and tap again to exit. The map can look like a colorful spaghetti bowl, but each line has a name or number.
Buses are great for sightseeing. You can get a day pass for unlimited travel. The trick is knowing which stop to get off at. You can use an app or just ask the driver, "Could you please tell me when we get to the museum district?"
Perfect phrase. And for door-to-door convenience, there are taxis and ride-sharing apps. You just open the app, put in your destination, and a car comes to you. You can even see the price estimate and the driver's rating.
Rating the driver afterwards is also part of the process. Now, Elena, we've talked about land and air. What about water? You mentioned cruises.
Oh, a cruise is a floating vacation. You board a huge ship that's like a resort. You unpack once, and your hotel travels with you to different ports. They have restaurants, theaters, pools, gyms, everything. You wake up in a new country every morning. It's a very relaxing way to see multiple places.
It sounds incredible. Maybe for my next big holiday. What about ferries? A shorter trip on water.
Yes, ferries connect islands or cross rivers and lakes. You can often take your car on a ferry. You drive onto the car deck, then go upstairs to the passenger areas. It's a scenic way to travel.
So many options. From my little train trip to a giant cruise ship. Travel really connects the world. Let's do a super quick review of some key phrases we used today for our listeners to note down.
For planning, options, pros and cons, book in advance, direct flight, connecting flight, layover.
For trains, ticket, platform, carriage, seat, conductor, luggage rack, departure board.
For planes, check-in, boarding pass, gate, security, carry-on, checked luggage, baggage claim, overhead compartment.
For cities, subway, metro, bus, taxi, ride-sharing, day pass, route.
And general great verbs: to board, to depart, to arrive, to delay, to cancel, to land, to take off.
Wow, we covered a lot of ground today. Or should I say a lot of air, sea, and rail?
We really did. But speaking of covering ground, Pavel, I'm looking at our studio clock, and our journey for today is coming to an end.
Is it that time already? It absolutely flew by. It just proves that when you're talking about exciting things like exploring the world, time has wings.
It truly does. So, dear listeners, before we sign off, we have our traditional question for you. And today, it's a double question.
First, tell us, what is the most memorable journey you have ever taken? Was it by plane to a faraway country, a scenic train ride, or a road trip with friends?
And second, what is one travel problem you have faced, and how did you solve it? Did you get lost, miss a bus, or have a language mix-up? Sharing our stories helps everyone learn.
We read every single comment. It's the highlight of our week to connect with you all.
And to make sure you never miss a connection with us, please hit that subscribe button to the Chatterbox English channel and ring the notification bell.
A big thumbs up for this video also helps more travelers and learners find our friendly community.
From both of us, thank you for spending this time with us. We wish you safe, joyful, and fascinating journeys, both in your English learning and in your adventures around our beautiful world.
Until next time, happy travels and happy learning.
Goodbye, Elena. Goodbye, Pavel. Goodbye, everyone.